In the late 40s and early 50s, there was a nationwide anti-communist fear, hysteria, whatever you want to call it. It was contrary to what many people think. This was not started by Senator Joe McCarthy in 1950. McCarthy himself was jumping on a bandwagon that was already in motion with the end of the Second World War, the collapse of the relationship between the United States and the Soviet Union, tremendous fear of communist domination without and communist subversion within. And it became an incredibly fearful time in which many people wound up losing their jobs in teaching and government and in other fields. One of the stories that I look in the book actually has a University of Vermont connection. It was a very publicized, controversial case. Vermont had one and only one high-profile academic firing, and it happened at UVM. A biochemistry teacher named Alex Novikov, who had testified at the U.S. Senate Investigating Committee and had refused to give names of his former colleagues at Brooklyn College. And the committee was formed to see if he was fit to have his contract renewed, and they gave him a 5-1 vote in favor. But the governor of the state, whose name was Lee Emerson at the time, put pressure on the university, and he threatened to tell the legislature to cut off funds for UVM unless they formed a new committee that was going to fire Novikov. And that's what happened in 1953. The reason that Professor Novikov was asked to testify was that he had been a member of the Communist Party and a union organizer at the campus where he taught before coming to University of Vermont, Brooklyn College in New York. And people were under a lot of pressure in those days. Were you going to testify in such a way to name your friends who had been communists with you? And this he refused to do.